Hello. Today we are going to make yogurt. I have tried this a couple of different ways, and since getting my Instant Pot, I find that this is actually, for me, the easiest way to do this. So I've taken a gallon of whole milk and I've got it in my pot here. I've put my thermometer in there. I also have, how many ounces is this? 7 ounces of yogurt. And the key to the yogurt that you use, it can't be like fruit on the bottom. It has to just be plain yogurt, no flavor, unless you like flavor, but it's going to get diluted. So plain yogurt. The key here is that it have live, active yogurt cultures. Okay, you can buy yogurt starter, but I find that this is cheaper, easier to use. So I take already made yogurt or leftovers from the batch that I've made, and that's where I get my live cultures from. So the first thing that we're going to do is heat up our milk to 200, anywhere between 180 and 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're going to do that over a low flame, so it takes a while. Now you could do that in your Instant Pot. I choose not to because I found that it took forever for that to come up to temperature, way longer than I wanted to wait. So I actually started in a pot on the stove, and that until it gets to 180, I baby it, just keeping an eye on it. I do not stir it because at the very bottom of your pot, some of the milk is actually going to, scald a bit. So you don't want to disturb that. You don't want to get it into your yogurt. So we're going to turn this on. We're going to get it going to, like I said, 200 degrees, anywhere between 180 and 200 degrees. And then we're going to follow into our next step. All right, our milk has been heated to 200 degrees, but now we have to actually let it cool down to 114 degrees. So I'm going to put it into the Instapot insert now. I'm going to pour the milk in. It's very hot, so be careful when you do this. Don't put your face over it, you'll get a steam burn. And you can see the bottom where some of it's scalded, which is fine. Okay, so now you can just leave this to slowly cool, or you can get let's get a spoon that's actually long enough. All right, there we go. So one of the fastest ways you can do this is to actually put it into a cold water bath, but I don't do that because the temperature will go down a little unevenly. I'll just put it in here, and every so often I come by and I give it a stir. So we're going to get this down to 114 degrees, and then we're going to get it into the Instapot. All right, we've cooled our milk down to 114 degrees. I'm going to put the insert into the Instapot. And we're going to activate our culture. So we've got, remember, this is 7 ounces of yogurt. This happens to be Greek yogurt, and it has live active cultures. So we're going to go ahead. Let's move this out of the way. Open this up. Usually these have a little piece of parchment on them, so we'll get that out of our way as well. And we're going to put all of our yogurt in this measuring cup. Usually comes out one good blob. And now I'm going to temper this with some of the warm milk. So I put a little bit of milk. And I'm actually going to use my fork so I can break up the yogurt until it becomes smooth and a bit runny. So I'm using a 2-cup measure just to give me some leeway, because when I pour it in, I want it to pour in. I don't want it to go plop. All right, so that's, I've put 4 ounces of liquid now. It's a 2-ounce measure on my ladle. Like I said, I just want it to be enough that this starts to warm up, and you can feel it with your hands that it's warming up. I'm going to put another 2 ounces, and I think that'll probably be it. It'll be runny enough, warm enough, so that when we put it into the full container that's heated with milk, we are not killing off the bacteria because it's too hot, because now it's tempered. Okay, so I'm going to use my spoon just to make sure I can get it all in there, and you can see it's all in. Okay, so now we're going to take our lid, get this on here. It turns this bad boy on. I have it set to yogurt. You can see that's flashing. I actually have it set to 12 hours and medium temperature. The longer you let this cook, I'm going to go ahead and start. The longer you allow this to do its thing in here, the tangier and thicker it's going to become. So I'm going to let this go for 12 hours, and then we'll see how it all looks. Well, our 12 hours are up. We're ready to open up our Instant Pot. Let's bring this closer so you can see once we open it up. We've got a beautiful curd of yogurt. You'll see when I take my spoon, I can just literally cut through it. So now we're going to take this and put it into the strainer. So I'm going to move this back so you can see how I do that. I'm going to use the strainer we had earlier. And it's like literally cutting cheese. Can you see how it's just cleaved off right there? So I'm going to let this strain in the strainer till a good amount of the way is gone, because even though it looks really thick right now, with the whey itself, by pulling it out, it's going to be even thicker, and I want it really thick so that my spoon will quite literally stand up in it, because I use the yogurt to just have as a snack. I use it as a substitute for sour cream, and the further when you go into the pot, the more whey there is. So while these first few look like it's perfectly ready as far as yogurt goes, I just like it a little bit thicker. And if you don't want it to be that thick, that's fine. Just make sure you strain out some of the whey, because this is going to be very runny otherwise. Even more than, just regular yogurt. But I like a very thick yogurt. So I hope you give this a shot and try out making your own yogurt at some point, and know that that's delicious.